come to an outlet pipe on a naturally aspirated LR4. This is the outlet pipe, very common for leaking, and a lot of times you won't even see where it's leaking from, just because it leaks underneath the intake and makes it very hard to see, but you will smell it. You'll be losing coolant. In this customer's case, he was losing a good bit of coolant. He was having to top it off once a week, and that's never a good idea in case it runs hot. So first thing, fuel line's got to come off. This is actually a fairly easy repair. The supercharged ones are definitely a lot more difficult, but this one is not too bad at all. Purge valve needs to come off. Other side of the fuel line. Basically, you need a 30 Torx, 17mm end wrench. Just like that, fuel line is off. And actually just push this back a little bit. Unplug your map sensor, and then this one will probably break because they always break. Oh, lucky us. Today's our lucky day. Now, what I like to do, just because these are very common for breaking, is you can actually just pull the 4 bolts out of the throttle body and just leave the throttle body hanging there so you don't have to take it out. Breather hose. Again, you can just push this up out the way like that. I always like to disconnect as little stuff as possible. Less likely for anything to break when that happens. And always with these older cars, it's something you've got to watch out for. Now, time to take your intake up. Just take your bolts out. Now, if you would like to replace your intake gaskets, especially if it's high mileage, now is the time to do it. These are actually not very common for leaking at all, if any. They seem to be pretty good gaskets on these, so don't freak out if you did not get new gaskets and you're just trying to do this to get by. You'll see how easy it is to take intake up. Up like that. Easy peasy. Also, what you can do, instead of having to undo all that and pull the intake completely off, is you can actually just lift it up and hold it up like that. Again, this is the only place you really need to be careful with is this plastic. It's very brittle. I will show you. That plastic down there will get very brittle and it'll break. But I will show you, you can see the puddles of coolant down there that the customer won't notice because it stays down in there. It's got all that room back there, and they'll smell it, but it takes a whole lot before you'll actually see the coolant leaking. And once I get this up, you'll be able to see better. I'll show you the cracks in it. Now you need to undo your hoses. And this is where you're probably going to make a mess. So get your catch pan or whatever you need underneath. Not too bad, actually. It is always good to do this on a cold engine as well. Start doing this on a hot engine. One, it just sucks, and two, it makes it very hard to get all the air out of the system. Now there is a 30 Torx up underneath here, so it's sometimes stinky when you're trying to get this off. There, just remember that for later. And we'll see, a lot of times when you do this, these things will actually fall apart. And that's just held on by 230s as well. Sometimes they get rusted. Sometimes they agree with you. So they're starting to get rusted, but not too bad. Now, let's see if it comes up without breaking, but my guess is it's gonna work. This one, as you can see, they start splitting right there, and that's where the coolant comes out. This one actually didn't fall apart too bad. It was definitely starting to separate right there and cause issues, and the O-rings are shot as well. This has probably been replaced before, but it's probably due for its next one. Always good to put a little lubricant. I put silicone most of the time, a spray silicone, or even Vaseline or anything like that will work. Just make sure like these are going back together. That is pretty much it. That's all there is to it. We'll put this back together and then always pressure test it. Need to clean the intake surfaces though. Make sure those are clean so you don't make a leak. It wasn't leaking before, but you could possibly make a leak if you don't clean it properly. voila, that is it. Bleed it, put everything back together, and should be good to go.